Do you want to know something nobody has ever confessed to you? You are trapped. Yes, you. Trapped in a jail you built yourself brick by brick. Every decision you made worrying about what others might think. Every action you avoided out of fear of failing. Every fake smile that hid your desperate urge to scream. Those are the bars of your cage. Can you feel that weight pressing down on your chest? It's not just anxiety. It's not just stress. It's the unbearable burden of a life lived for others. A life crafted to please spectators who don't even bother paying admission to watch your performance. What's the cruelest part? Nobody asked you to make this sacrifice. Nobody demanded you trade your freedom, your essence, your authenticity. You did it willingly. You chained yourself to the expectations of others, trading your identity for fleeting applause, for momentary approval that vanishes like smoke. And now, when you look inside, what's left of you? What part is truly yours, and what part was sculpted by fear, by insecurity, by the desperate need to fit in? They sold you a lie. They told you control is the key, that if you could just manage every detail of your life, everything would be perfect. But here's the truth nobody dares to whisper. Absolute control is a myth, a mental trap designed to keep you distracted, disconnected from what truly matters. The more you chase control, the deeper you sink into anxiety, into silent desperation, into a life you never fully live because you're too busy preparing for something that never arrives. Have you ever wondered why you feel that void, that nagging emptiness, even when you seem to have it all? It's because what you have isn't yours. Your successes, your relationships, even your thoughts, they're tainted by the constant worry of how others perceive them. The more you seek validation from the outside, the further you drift from your core, from that spark you used to recognize but now barely remember. In the 16th century, Michel de Montaigne, from his quiet tower, saw what you might be too afraid to admit. Detachment isn't indifference. It's the only path to true freedom. He realized we're not trapped by external chains, but by our own obsession with controlling the uncontrollable, pleasing the unpleasable, avoiding criticism at all costs. But what if I told you that the detachment you fear is the key that unlocks your cage? What if for just a moment you dared to let go of the rope you're clinging to, the one you think is saving you but is actually strangling you? Here's the paradox. The more you try to control, the less control you have. The more you seek to please, the less authentic you become. The more you resist change, the harder it hits when it inevitably arrives. The world doesn't bend to your will, and it never will. Accepting this isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Life, in all its chaotic, unpredictable beauty, asks one simple but terrifying thing of you. Let go. Let go of the need for approval. Let go of the fear of failure. Let go of the false identity you've built to shield yourself from judgment. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine what would happen if you stopped caring so much about what others think. Who would you be without that constant fear? What would you do if you knew no one would judge you? That person you see in your mind right now, that unfiltered, unchained version of yourself, that's who you really are. But there's a darker truth lurking beneath this. You're afraid to let go because deep down, you're not sure who you are without those chains. You're scared that if you strip away the external expectations, there might be nothing left. But here's the brutal, liberating truth, Montaigne whispered. Only by letting go of what you're not can you finally see what you are. The freedom you crave is on the other side of the fear that's paralyzing you. It's not in a self-help book, not in motivational quotes, not in some mystical secret. It's here right now, waiting for you to muster the courage to say, I don't need anyone's approval. I don't need to control the unpredictable. I don't need to pretend to be someone I'm not. So are you ready to let go? Or will you keep clinging to control, knowing each day pulls you further from your true self? This is just the start of a journey you might not want to take but desperately need. The choice is yours alone. Will you stay locked in a golden cage of your own making? Or will you risk jumping into the unknown, into a freedom that terrifies you but makes you feel alive? Welcome to the philosophy of detachment, to the pursuit of an inner freedom that will shatter everything you thought you knew about yourself. The path is unsettling, but I promise you, the only thing scarier than chasing that freedom is staying exactly where you are. Now let's dig deeper. You've been told your whole life that chasing goals is the key to happiness. But what if I told you most of those goals were never yours? All this time you've been climbing ladders someone else built, never stopping to ask if you even wanted to reach the top. And now that you're up there, what do you see? The view you dreamed of, or just a warped reflection of what someone else wanted you to be? We're obsessed with success, convinced it'll bring us peace. But have you ever stopped to question what success really is? More importantly, whose success? Maybe you've checked all the boxes, studied the right thing, landed the right job, surrounded yourself with the right people. Yet there's still that gnawing feeling, that whisper in the dark that something's missing. That's not failure. That's your authentic self screaming to be heard, begging you to stop ignoring it. Montaigne, in his self-imposed exile, discovered something dangerous. True success isn't what they sold you. It's not a title, a paycheck, or a social media following. True success is living in alignment with your own nature. But to do that, you have to know who you are beneath the mask, beyond the expectations, past the version of yourself you show the world every day. You've gotten so good at pretending, you barely notice the effort it takes to maintain that facade. But your mind? It's relentless. It knows. That's why the stress, the anxiety, the emptiness, they're not random. They're the consequences of a life lived for others. Montaigne saw it clearly. Most people choose the safety of a half-lived life over the risk of facing who they really are. Are you one of them? Will you keep numbing yourself with routine, or will you dare to break free? Routine is a powerful drug. It keeps you busy, distracted, trapped in a loop that slowly dulls your spirit. It feels safe, but that safety comes at a cost: your inner freedom. And freedom, it's not doing whatever you want whenever you want. It's having the courage to be yourself, even if it means defying expectations, breaking patterns, or disappointing those you care about. What if being authentic cost you everything you've built? Here's the kicker. If you have to pretend to keep it, it was never yours to begin with. Real relationships, meaningful projects, true achievements, they survive authenticity. In fact, they thrive on it. By being real, you discover what matters and shed what's just taking up space. You have less to lose than you think and everything to gain. But you have to take that leap into a life you can't fully control, but one that's finally yours. Montaigne's wisdom still rings true. Detachment doesn't mean abandoning what you love. It means loving from a place of freedom, building from a place of truth. Everything you hold on to out of fear or attachment ends up owning you. Most people live terrified of losing what they have because they've never dared to see what happens if they let it go. But real life, it starts the moment you stop clinging to what doesn't define you. So what's it going to be? Will you keep living on autopilot, scared to uncover who you are? Or will you find the courage to let go of the familiar and dive into the uncertainty that holds the promise of something far greater? Your true self, free from control, approval, and fear. Let's shift gears. Let's talk about storytelling. Not just the kind you see in movies or books, but the kind you do every day in your own head. The stories you tell yourself about who you are, what you're capable of, what your life means. Storytelling isn't just a way to share knowledge or emotions. It's a mirror reflecting your search for identity. Every time you narrate your life, consciously or not, you're standing face to face with what you are or what you wish you could be. Stories are powerful. They're like an emotional simulator, letting you test drive different versions of yourself without real-world risks. In times of chaos like the world we're living in now, stories become even more vital. They're a refuge, a way to process the mess, but also a way to be bold in ways you might not dare in real life. They let you cross boundaries, explore new perspectives, and rehearse what it means to be free. Here's a question. How much do the stories you tell yourself shape your choices? That inner narrative, the one that says you're not good enough, or you have to keep everyone happy, or you're destined to fail, filters how you see the world. It's like an invisible script quietly directing your life. What if you could rewrite it? What if changing the story you tell yourself could change your destiny? Think about it. So many of us are trapped in narratives we didn't even write, stories of failure, limitation, or roles we never chose. Reclaiming your story is a radical act. It's not just about seeing yourself as the hero instead of the victim. It's about realizing you're the author. You get to decide what your story means, how the past shapes you, and where the plot goes next. And here's the wild part. The stories you tell don't just change you, they change how the world sees you. A strong, authentic narrative about who you are becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It shapes your relationships, your opportunities, how people respond to you. It's like you're handing the world a script, and they play along without even realizing it. Building your story isn't just introspection, it's a strategy for living. But let's not pretend it's all neat and tidy. Your story isn't a straight line, and it shouldn't be. The best narratives embrace the mess, contradictions, doubts, dark moments, and all. That's where the humanity lies. The most gripping stories aren't the ones where everything makes sense. They're the ones that leave you with questions, discomfort, and glimmers of truth amid the chaos. And here's the poetry of it all. You're never done writing yourself. Every conversation, every choice, every quiet moment adds a line to your story. You're a writer working on an unfinished manuscript, and there's no final draft. What seemed like a tragedy yesterday might be the turning point in tomorrow's chapter. That's the alchemy of being human, turning scars into symbols, mistakes into plot twists, silences into suspense. But here's the final twist. What if the true art of living isn't knowing exactly what story you're telling? What if the beauty lies in the uncertainty, in not knowing whether you're in a comedy, a tragedy, or an epic? There's a strange freedom in that. The most powerful stories don't wrap up with a neat bow. They leave you hungry to keep writing because the tale isn't over. And now we've reached the end. Or maybe it's just a disguised beginning. If this stirred something in you, if it made you feel the weight you've been carrying, do something about it. Subscribe, hit the bell. Leave "I rewrite my story" in the comments so I know you're here, part of this tribe of curious, courageous narrators. Because this is just page 1. In the next chapter, you might not find all the answers, but I guarantee you'll walk away with better questions. Until then, don't just close the book, keep it open. The next paragraph might change everything. The world doesn't remember those who followed every rule. It remembers those who dared to break free and write their own story. So tell me, are you ready to let go? If you've made it this far, I want to know who's ready to step out of the script. Drop "I rewrite my story" in the comments. Let's see who's bold enough to start again, on their own terms. If this hit you, if it made you feel something, like and subscribe. This is only the beginning. Don't just live a life that looks good on the outside. Live the one that feels right on the inside. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to be real.